Welcome to Inside the Upside Down, where tonight we're going to be recapping and going inside the 2019 Haunted Road Media ParaCon, which we just had this past Saturday. Coming up next. Welcome back to Edge of the Rabbit Hole, everybody. I'm author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. With me, as always, is Vanessa Hogle, my co-hostess, and down in the chat room, our chat Shananigator, Shana. We just finished up our 2019 Haunted Road Media ParaCon, which was this past Saturday, June 1st, in Alton, Illinois, at the Mineral Springs Hotel. We weren't floating down the Mississippi like a lot of people feared. It's true. A lot of people didn't show up because of the flooding in the area, but Mineral Springs kind of sits up the hill a little bit. We stayed dry. Those that were there had an absolutely fantastic time. Vanessa, I was very happy to see you again, my friend.
Yes. We had fun. We
did. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Some great speakers. You and Katie Hopkins led the whole thing off, which was absolutely fantastic. And it was just another great time. Last year was our first one. This was our second. And I think it just keeps getting better from here.
I agree. I really do. It's weird because, yes, you're right. I mean, the flooding was an issue. And I mean, Megan and I were detoured 3 times just getting to Alton.
Yeah.
But, like you said, once you got there, you were perfectly fine. There was no issues as far as water goes. I brought 40% DEET mosquito spray.
Yeah.
Just in case, which we did use, by the way. But we just had an absolute blast. We truly did. And speaking with Katie, doing that very first lecture with Katie was so much fun.
Cool.
I wish, I just found out from her today that the video recorder lost power halfway through.
Oh, no. So you guys were taping it?
Oh, yes. And I'm like, damn, because I was on a roll. It was classic Vanessa for my skit. And it was awesome. And fuck it, I don't even have proof. I don't even have proof.
Now, some people may be wondering why Shana isn't here with me to help recap the ParaCon, why she's just down there in chat. She will be joining me for Inside the Upside Down later after this show, but a lot of you know that leading up to ParaCon, she wasn't feeling very well. Actually missed all of the Haunted Road Media author stuff that we do on the Friday night before the ParaCon because she was trying to rest up and be well enough for the actual event, which she was on Saturday. But come Sunday morning, her voice was pretty scratchy, and it has continued for the last couple of days. So she basically only has enough in her voice right now for one show, if that. So we'll see how that goes. But that's why Shauna's not here right now. She's down there in the chat, though. Yeah.
She's there in the chat and here in spirit, so that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
It was different. I wish I would have not been so tired that I would have stayed to be able to go upstairs, because I had given myself a nice little pep talk, and I was going to go up into Molly's room like I said I would never do. But I lost momentum on what happened when we were down in that room behind the pool.
That room back behind the pool. Okay, so Vanessa's talking about the paranormal investigation that we do the night after the ParaCon. So we do the ParaCon all throughout the day, 10 o'clock to 6 p.m., break for dinner, and then we come back and we investigate. And yeah, I was with you for that moment, and that I hadn't seen before. I was trying to figure out, because you were turning around and around and around. At first I was wondering, okay, are you dancing like a ballerina? I didn't know if it was like a little girl spirit that was channeling through you or whatever, but you ended up saying it was portal action or a vortex.
Yes. I have never, and I've seen some shit. Okay. We all know that. For me to have a first in this field is, well, let me just say it this way. This was a first, and I can't tell you the last time that happened. So, I mean, having been involved in some way or another for 45 years, this was, whoa, is what it was. We had been down in the pool area and I'd already had a particular experience right by the pool. And I've kind of perfected it, Mike. I'm proud of myself. Go me. I have perfected it where I can stay half in and half out of my body so that I am not completely lost when something jumps in. And so I'm very happy for that. That's going to save me a whole lot of stress. So I'd already had a particular experience right there. Y'all got to see it. Megan was right there. Michelle Hamilton was right there. Yep. And, they kind of kept everything sane for me. Then you took us into that room behind the pool. And from what I remember, and it's like I said, it's like a half memory. It's like my glass is half full. You know what I mean? I can see through it that way. I immediately walked into that back corner to the left and started spinning. And I don't mean my head was spinning. I mean my body was spinning.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I thought it was like you were twirling around like a ballerina almost.
Exactly. It was really bizarre, and I wasn't doing it. I wasn't doing it because, first off, y'all, I get nauseous like that. Okay? Any type of motion like that, I can't spin around in a chair. I can't do anything like that. I can't go around more than once before I want to hurl all over everything in sight. So that's nothing.
Fortunately, she did not hurl.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes this so weird. It's because I would have.
Right.
I would have thrown up all over you and Megan and Michelle. I would have projectile.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
I know, right? But that didn't happen. And it took me a minute to stop what was going on. And when I finally did, I had to brace my arms out, brace my legs apart. And it kept like going in front of me. And it was like that half moon force that was pushing against me. I feel like in a test of wills. Okay.
Do you remember shouting, "Stop pushing"?
Yes. Okay. I think I said it twice. Stop.
You said it more than twice.
Did I? Okay. Yeah. I could feel it with my hands out like this. I could feel the force from one hand all the way across me to the next. And that is a first. And I did not like it. And I was completely drained afterwards.
Yeah.
But I won.
Yeah, you were so wiped that you didn't go upstairs with us to Molly's room. You said that you were going to go to Molly's room, which you said before you were never going to go in there, but you had said, I can't remember if you said it's Saturday morning or maybe it was Friday night.
Friday night.
Friday night. Okay, that you were going to go up there with us.
Yeah, I was going to, and I think if we would have went directly back up there, I think I would have been okay. But we were due to go down into the sub basement.
Right, we were just sub basement next. So I guess I'll just have to set it up next time where we'll go up there right away, so that in case you get tired or something wipes you out, that we will have already hit it.
Yeah, because I can only assume that was a portal or a vortex. I really can, because I've encountered things that were like wall surface before. I've never encountered something that was in the middle of, that was on the floor and funneling up, I feel like almost like a tornado.
Yeah. Which that upflow vortex is something that that they get there, especially down in the slaughterhouse area, the old mineral spring area. There is an upflow vortex like right in the doorway when you come down at the bottom of the steps, and you can actually see. I mean, it's dust. It's not orbs or anything, but you can see the dust coming up and sometimes swirling like that. So it's an upflow right there.
The creepy thing about it is, and y'all, before anybody gets their panties all in a bunch, I know what a fucking dust orb is. Okay,
Yeah.
I do. So if you want to take me on that, we'll box. Okay, I know what they are. I caught 3 in the pool room on the same wall that is shared with that room.
Okay.
That was not dust. They were self-lit, lit from within. They were not bugs. They were not dust. My camera is very good, and it gets. I could look at the dust coming through the lens when I'm taking pictures, and I would know what was dust, and my camera would still get rid of it.
Okay.
And these were 20 feet away from me, big. You know, you could see them from across the room on the camera. That's not dust. Right in front of the lens, that's dust. The other very interesting fact, Mike, is Sedona, I think is her name. I always pronounce her name wrong. She was with Paranormal Endeavors.
Okay.
Blue hair.
Yeah.
Not knowing what I went through, she did the same thing downstairs.
Did she really?
Yes, she
did.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yes, in front of Jarrett and them, just in Adam's group, just started spinning.
Wow. Okay.
Started spinning. I didn't know she did it. She didn't know I did it. We're both doing it on different floors.
Oh, really interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a couple of super chats here that just came in. $5 super chat from Tom McNicholas. It says, Vanessa was a trooper for sure to go back. And trucker David Y says, wish I could have joined the investigation, but you never have a set schedule in trucking. Had a great first time at ParaCon. Shana, be sure to use the all stuffed up. It might help. Okay. Cool. Thank you both very, very much. Absolutely appreciate that. They were both at the ParaCon. It was very cool. So it's always great to see Tom and his guys, and then trucker David Y. This was the first time I met him. Very nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Yeah. So so a lot of interesting stuff. And you missed what happened because it was actually our last stop for the night upstairs. In fact, Vanessa, I haven't even had a chance to tell you about it yet. What happened with us up there, and I can't talk about it on the show because that's
what the fuck?
It's the topic for Inside the Upside Down. So I can't talk about it here because we're talking about it in the next show. So
shit fire. Okay.
you'll just have to wait, but I'll tell you, it was pretty interesting. And we'll get into more of that. So I saw that Jake Medford was down in the chat. Of course, Goldenrod Showboat was back with a larger exhibit than last year. I was really impressed. We had a table set out for them like we did last year, but they brought like 3 of their own tables, I think, and all these different artifacts that were set up. There were people that were coming specifically for the Goldenrod. The local newspaper, the Alton Telegraph, had actually run a story about the Goldenrod exhibit being there at the ParaCon. And so there were people coming in, hey, I saw the Goldenrod was going to be here in the newspaper, and they were coming in just for that, which I thought was really cool because Goldenrod is something that we always, it's something close to our heart that we always try to promote and to, get the word out there that, hey, it does, even though the boat itself is gone, the memory's still there and there are artifacts. So just the fact that, people saw the article, were Goldenrod stuff, and came out to the ParaCon so they could check that out, to me was awesome.
Well, I have to tell you that they will probably have another piece for the exhibit next year.
Oh, yeah?
Because Jake Medford's going to, he came over and talked to me about commissioning a painting of the Goldenrod.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so
very cool.
I'm going to do that for him when he's ready. And I will do her justice.
Nice. Very cool.
I will do her justice. So I can't wait. I'm excited about that. That made me happy that he would even consider me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So very cool.
I felt the love.
Yeah, it looks like I'm seeing some chatter down in the chat. Go figure that. Chatter down in the chat about
right?
About T-shirts. So so there were we did run out of some sizes of different T-shirts at the ParaCon, but they're always available at hauntedroadmedia.com. Just go into the merch section. You'll see the link there for the actual t-shirt store. We use Spreadshirt for that. So you can also go to shop.spreadshirt.com/Haunted Road Media, and that'll take you right to all the t-shirts. So yeah, very cool. People are actually asking specifically for a ParaCon t-shirt. Did we have one that was specifically Haunted Road Media ParaCon, which we don't.
We will next year. We need to make sure we do that.
Shana and I were talking about that, and here's the thing. It's like, I know some people, there might be a handful that would want them, and I don't know all the different sizes. And so I don't want to buy like a whole bunch of t-shirts, all different sizes. Sure, some people are going to buy them, and then I get stuck with like 10 or 12 t-shirts that, well, ParaCon's over. Nobody's going to buy them now.
Make them limited edition. And you're always safe if you do.
It's always going to be a limited edition if it's a specific ParaCon.
No, but I'm saying limited quantity. Do 3 in extra large, 3 in large, 3 in medium. Very few people will wear smalls. A medium, they can shrink it down, washing it in hot, be set to go. I'll throw in on it too, and that can be something. There's only going to be these 3 in this size made ever. But I still say we need one that says my para balls are bigger than yours.
Yeah. Or hey, maybe we could do this with the t-shirts if we're gonna do that. And like I said, even with the 333, I'm kind of hesitant. But maybe if we get one of those, because it's a black t-shirt, maybe if we get one of those silver Sharpies and sign it.
Perfect.
Maybe if we do something like that.
That would be cool.
So, hey, I do want to recognize a $10 super chat from Andrew Cox, who was also there at the ParaCon. He says, damn, ghost punched me while I'm standing at Vanessa's table with Greg. Really? Okay. Interesting. So, thank you very much, Andrew. Appreciate that.
That might have been my attachment.
That was your attachment? Nice.
It wouldn't be the first time.
So, and Shana keeps saying, don't put the year on them. Yeah, that's what she was saying to me earlier, because I expressed the same concerns to Shana with the t-shirts. And she said, just don't put the year on them so that we can always just, Haunted Road Media ParaCon and recycle them the next year.
Or use the Sharpie to put the year on it.
Maybe.
There you go.
But see, usually when you're doing something like that, you want it to be year by year. Like what I'm... Haunted Roast, it helps you on ghosts. Like what I'm doing with this. Okay, so this is the new one, right? It's different from last year's, which is this. So you usually change up the design year to year as well.
I don't change up my design year to year. This is the fabulousness you guys get day in, day out. I don't know what to tell you people. Okay? It is what it is.
Yeah, so I also do want to shout out John Shanahan, our musician who has been playing there both times. Absolutely fantastic. He was having some fun with the Southern Gypsies.
Yeah. He came over. He was wearing the pendants he commissioned from me. And
yeah.
Pictures of me
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he loves them. Yeah, it makes me happy. It's like, y'all, it ain't just for women. I got men rocking my shit too, so.
Yeah. It's not just for girls.
No.
Yeah,
He's so good.
He is absolutely fantastic. So, and he can play multiple genres, which is very cool. So, so he played a couple of country tunes for the Southern Gypsies. They were, to be honest, they were pre-selected. Because neither Shana or I like country music, so we've told him up front, no country. No country.
My friend Megan, who was with me, she used to be in a band. She's a singer. Her husband's a musician. And she was so impressed by him because, and she's a music snob.
Okay.
Love her. She's a music snob. Known the girl for 15 years. And she was like, he is awesome. And I said, I know nothing but the best at Haunted Road Media.
That's right.
Nothing but the best.
Yeah. So he will be back next year.
Yes.
It's already guaranteed. Yeah. So, he's a great guy. Shana's known him for quite a while. She's booked him at some different venues in the area. So, I've watched him up here at the Vixen Hill Winery, where he actually does do a little bit more country and whatnot. So he's really cross genre. But I mean, he'll throw down some, like, he's like part of an Alice in Chains tribute band and stuff like that. So
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he did as much Alice in Chains this time around. Yeah, he did last year. He threw down some Tool, so and some Chris Cornell. Mm-hmm. So
I remember.
Yep. But yeah, Candy Orton, Alice in Chains, hell yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Me and Candy next year will be over there in the back headbanging. I'm just kidding. Not really to Alice, but still, you know. We can still rock it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I had a lot of great help for the ParaCon this year. I want to thank Bonnie Halpern set up all the stuff with the hotels, and then she also made some cupcakes that she sent with Tom. And I guess they ended up with you too at some point. I don't know how all that worked out, but
well, Tom knew that I was going to have to be. He knew that we were going to the dinner the night before, and that I was going to see you guys and be at Mineral Springs. So I went ahead.
I got to answer this for Tom. Tom McNicholas asked, "How could you live in Ohio and not like country music?" Because I'm from Cleveland, where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is.
Yeah.
And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there is because that is where, in that city, Alan Friedman, who named rock and roll.
Yeah.
So it's because I'm from Cleveland. That's why.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, so we brought them that night and then bought the platters and the other stuff that she sent.
Yeah.
The next morning. So good cupcakes. That woman can bake.
She can bake. Yeah, absolutely.
Sake.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I lived with her, I would probably not fit behind this desk because it's that damn good. So, but what else went down?
Well, I was going through some thank yous. So Bonnie was the first. I also wanted to thank Katie Hopkins because she's the one that set up like all of our sponsorship stuff. So 94.3, the Big Z down there in Alton was a sponsor for the ParaCon. So they actually gave us like a bunch of commercials to advertise the event, and we had them to reciprocate. They were giving out free tickets to the ParaCon from the station, and then Shana had actually set up, prior to Katie doing all that, Shana had set up an interview with us on the Big Z, so that was very cool too. So thanks, Shana, for that. Brown Bag Bistro, which provided the lunch for the vendors and speakers. Oh my God, those sandwiches.
What the fuck? I swear my sandwich weighed like 3 pounds.
They were huge. Yeah, I know. We had different options. We had different options. Katie was trying to figure it out because it was pricey for that. And so I was like, man, is there a way that we could bring down the cost of that? But then they were talking about like doing the little dinner rolls with, some stuff on it. And it's like, yeah, I've seen those because like Ohio State Reformatory, when we did that, and they were good. I mean, most events, you don't get a lunch as a vendor or a speaker. That just doesn't happen. I admittedly stole the idea from Greg Fiketic from Tri-C, who does that at his events out there in Ohio. And they did like the little dinner rolls with the sandwich meat and all that, which were fine. It was great. And, you got like a salad and some other stuff along with it. The last year when they were up at St. Joe's, I think they did some pasta the one day. All good stuff. But I'm like, yeah, but I want something a little more with the sandwich. So we just went with their full-fledged big sandwiches.
Oh, fuck massive. Yeah, you did. I had the club, because I'm thinking a club, it's not too terribly large, and because I mean, hell, I'm a waitress on the weekends. I know what a fucking club sandwich is. This thing, oh my like, word. Boom. It weighed like 3 pounds. I could only get down half of it.
Yeah.
Trucker Dave is sitting there trying to watch me eat that damn thing, and I know he's laughing in his head because I was like, mother trucker, this is big.
Yeah. Yeah, I ended up with both Shana and I ended up with the Italian. We waited kind of till towards the end to grab food, let everybody get some first. And there's like 2 clubs left, and a number of the Italians still left. So I was like, well, if there's a couple people that want clubs, let them have those. I grabbed the Italian, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I made this choice. Because the Italian was really good.
The club was too. I don't know what the hell was on it. I don't know what that sauce was. I don't care. It was good. The only thing I had to do was take off the onions and tomatoes. But other than that, I scarfed down half that bitch. I did. It was so good.
A lot of people down in the chat are saying that they went to the bistro, Brown Bag Bistro, which is like really right across the street. Yeah, they were really, really good. So they're the ones that provide the meals for the vendors and the speakers. And then there were some different discounts that we had in there from like Mississippi Mud, Bluff City Grill, which is where we had the author dinner.
God, that was so good.
Love their pot stickers. I know you love the pasta there. I just
my God.
every time I go there, I get the freaking pot stickers. I don't know what the heck they do with them. It's like some sort of baked fried combination of it, and then you got they put an Asian, really nice Asian sauce with it, and it's like, oh my God,
Pot sticker crack.
it is.
Yeah, Megan and I split the white chicken chili, which was
Good. I had that the next.
bomb.
Yeah.
You had it the next night.
The next night.
bomb,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And then and she and I, because how a single person could get down their chicken Alfredo is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, she and I split it straight down the center, and it was an entire meal. Half of it was an entire meal.
Yeah.
So good. I didn't have to salt it. That tells me right there, bitch was perfect.
There you go. There you go.
Because I didn't have to do nothing to it. God, I love food. It's the reason I'm not skinny, y'all.
Yeah. Well, I've been depriving myself of because I love food too, and I've been depriving myself. But you know, and also got to thank, of course, Dave and Donna from It's Raining Zen. You know, they helped so much in so many different ways, both last year, this year, and of course going forward. But yeah, I mean, and you have to go to Zen anyway while you're there. So
Oh yeah,
it's like the greatest metaphysical shop ever.
Oh yeah, first off, Dave and Donna are just absolutely fabulous people, and secondly, no store I've ever been into ever can compete with her stock and with the prices and everything else. I got a lapis palm stone, a fairly large one, that I had to do a commission piece with. Absolutely beautiful stone.
Nice.
Reasonably priced. Just everything about them is just yum. They're just great people, great product, love them.
Yep, absolutely. So, and it was really cool the Tuesday before. So we've kind of been working out with Dave that about every other month we're going to go live from Mineral Springs, and so you know he's really creative. So he was like, you know, why don't we try to go live from down in the basement, down the sub basement, you know, which has never been done before. Nobody can go live from down there because of the superstructure. So we're, you know, trying to run cables down there. And, you know, I bought a 200-foot cable, which wasn't going to be long enough, apparently. So, you know, went out and got another, you know, whatever was, what was it, Walmart or whatever. That was the local place that had the longest cable, 75 feet. And we still didn't make it all the way down there. So it was like, man. So you know, this is what we're trying to do to get down to the sub basement. So then he's like, I got another idea. Why don't we shoot from the roof? I'm like, what? So we went up to the roof and we did that episode from the roof.
That was great, though.
But it was a great prelude to the entire event. Coyote Chris Sutton was there. He was doing the drumming. And so another, I want to say, quasi-impromptu. So that was kind of impromptu before the event. But during the event, Dave and I had already been talking leading up into the event that, you know, while we're doing all of the in-processing for the event, that he would talk about the history there. Mm-hmm. Well, then a couple days before, actually it was right there when we were doing that show last week, you know, Chris was talking about, I mean, he did drumming down in the basement last year during the investigation, but only two groups got to experience his drumming down there, and then he had to go because he was suffering from physical stuff, which he had surgery for, and all that, which he's going back again this summer. So he's kind of limited as to how much that he can, kind of withstand. So only 2 groups got to experience him last year. Well, last week on the roof, he said, well, why don't I go ahead and do the drum circle beforehand so that people can come down, whatever group they're a part of, and experience the drum circle. So now it's like, okay, we have Dave wants to do history, Chris wants to do the drum circle. Okay, well, we'll just figure it out. We'll just tell people to start showing up at 7:30. So then the way it worked out was Dave did the history part for like a half an hour, and then we ended up starting the investigation late. It was supposed to start at 8. It was about 8 by the time Dave got done. So we sent people downstairs with Chris for a half an hour to do the drum circle. So everybody got like a piece of both worlds, history, drum circle, and then we started the investigation a little bit late. So that's something for next year. We'll kind of organize a little bit better because it was really almost like last minute, but it was very cool. I remember Katie Hopkins saying during the thing, like, I could listen to him all night. Dave is a really good storyteller.
He's a very good orator. He really is.
Yeah. And then, Chris, with that drumming, I mean, we experienced in just like 3 little chunks last week, that energy that comes off there is just amazing. So I think they're down there for like 20 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. And so I can't imagine what that was like.
It was wonderful. It really was. It was wonderful. The funny thing was, it's like I had Megan on one side and Michelle on the other, and, kind of linked arms. And Michelle kept asking me, she's like, she asked me afterwards. She goes, were you raising your hand? No, my hands were arms linked. My hands were by my side the entire time. So she could feel that. When I say I had my ankle grabbed, I don't mean that it was negative in any way. Mm-hmm. It was more, in all honesty, it felt more like somebody was down on the ground moving around, and I just so happened to be in the way. And they grabbed my leg. Oh, wow. But nobody was down on the ground.
Now, see, Shana got grabbed a little bit when we were down in the sub-basement this past time.
Yeah.
Which, that doesn't usually happen. And I don't think she necessarily thought it was negative. Shana, you could correct me if I'm wrong down there. Usually the energy she feels down there is a bit more positive, which is probably, like I said, there's that upflow vortex down there, which is usually more positive in nature when you have an upflow. So
not when I was in it.
But that's not what you experienced.
No, it was not positive.
Okay.
I'm not saying, please, y'all, don't go all douchebaggins on me. It wasn't a demon.
Oh, it wasn't Butterscotch the demon?
It wasn't Butterscotch the demon, okay? For fuck's sake. But it was, like I said, it was a test of wills. And I feel like I passed, okay. Because I was not going to let it knock me off balance, whatever the fuck it was. And I feel like that's what it was trying to do. And I don't know why. It's not like that would have gained anything.
Right.
Or was it just for kicks? Maybe it was to knock me off my game, which, let's be honest, to a certain degree it did, because I was completely drained.
Interesting.
But maybe had I not have driven 10 hours the day before,
there's
the night before, and been at ParaCon all day long, I don't think I would have been as drained.
Okay. Shana is clarifying it was not a negative grab that she experienced.
No, not a negative down in the sub-basement.
Right. Okay. I also do want to point out, you see Ghosty back here. Tanya Sargisian gave that to us at the ParaCon. I mean, it's awesome. It's our little ghosty in this frame, and he kind of spins. It's the way it's set up right now. You can't see the little spin that it does, but it's awesome. It's beautiful. So thank you, Tanya.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. So, and I do want to thank all the speakers that were there this time. I saw Kelly McCarville down there in the chat. Kelly talked about spirit guides, and I didn't have a lot of time to get up to the crystal room to watch the speakers. But at one point I got up there I took very few pictures, unfortunately, this time around. There's something that's really bad about this time. But I did snap off a photo of Kelly's presentation, and she had a full house in there. So I was happy to see that the speakers were having some good turnouts.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a good ParaCon. It was steady all day. All day.
Yeah, it was.
And I feel like people got a chance to mingle and enjoy each other and, just kind of breathe and relax a little bit, which to me is what this should be about. I mean, we're bringing everybody into a place that's active enough when everyone is in there in the room with us, not investigating. Main goal should be calm, easy breathing, everybody just kind of enjoying each other and milling about and taking in the experience. That's what it should be about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Tammy Heitzman is saying that looks like you guys had a nice turnout. I did go live at one point, which I know a lot of people ended up going live. Yeah, and I think that even, the flood scared a lot of people off. I mean, let's be honest, it did, because for 2 weeks heading into the ParaCon, I was fielding those questions on a daily basis. Is the hotel safe? Are we going to be able to get there? All those types of questions. So, while a lot of those people who are asking those questions did show up, I know a lot of people just also assumed that, there's the danger of the flood, which we were safe where we were at. The St. Louis Blues were, and still are, in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Boston Bruins, which I didn't want to tell anybody, hey, I'm actually rooting for the Bruins here. But they were playing the game in St. Louis right across the river that day. So, there were people staying home for the Blues game. So other people mentioned Cardinals, but to me, it's too early in the baseball season to get really concerned about baseball games. I mean, I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. I always, pay attention to what's going on. But, the casual fan, if they're like, Cardinals game right now or Haunted Road Media ParaCon, I think they might go to Haunted Road Media ParaCon because the Cardinals still going to be playing for the next 4 months. So, so I know some of that stuff kind of hurt, but, with the people that we had that came out, it was a great time.
Oh, yeah. I almost sold out, so I'm not complaining.
So, Tim Shona is asking, what's the buzzing sound in your live feed? I don't hear any buzzing. If anybody else has that, please let us know. But it might be on your end.
Yeah.
So
I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Weird.
I got a good kick out of when I went live. It was actually kind of perfect timing because that's about the time that John started playing a little bit of country and the Southern Gypsies were up there and started going nuts. So they're all hooting and hollering. And then I got Charles Anthony, not Chuck Banks. Don't be mistaken. It was that Charles Anthony guy. Caught him dancing with Holly. So it was funny because I'm like, oh, what's this going on over here? And he turns around and he's like, oh my God. Took off. So he came back around. I was like, oh, that wasn't that Chuck. He's like, no, that was that Charles Anthony guy. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I saw that on the video.
That was funny.
Cute.
Yeah.
That was neat. Yeah. Unfortunate timing for me.
Oh, okay.
For videotaping, but
yeah, Tim is asking about the broadcast, or not this broadcast, but the live feed from the ParaCon. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, like the first minute of that live feed that I did, apparently there was some sort of buzzing. Just poor connection.
Yeah, just fast forward.
Yeah, just fast forward that little bit. Yeah,
just go past it.
Yeah, that's my the Facebook Live that I did apparently, and I didn't know it while I was broadcasting, but I went back and watched it yesterday and noticed that buzzing for like the first minute, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's not like YouTube where I can go back into the YouTube editor and snip something off. Facebook doesn't have that, so it's gonna stay.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yep, it happens. So.
Oh, good gravy.
So.
It was I think a good time was had by all.
Oh yeah. Look, Adam Tillery's in the house. Yeah, Tom picked up his illustration from Adam Tillery. So in the Encounters with the Paranormal Volume 4 book, the story that Tom McNicholas contributed has a illustration associated with it that was done by Adam Tillery. Adam illustrates those books, and so Tom acquired that from Adam, which
he does an amazing job.
He does, yes.
Adam is crazy, stupid, talented.
Yeah,
I mean that in the highest possible complimentary way. Crazy, stupid, talented.
Yeah, so we actually made an announcement during that live stream because we agreed to it this past weekend, is that he's going to illustrate the Shadow Person book that I'm writing.
Very, very cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
So
I can totally see that.
Yeah, he have it. It's right over here. The Shadow Person illustration that he did for the very first Encounters book. That was my experience. He's done those types of illustrations within our books for Sean Gilmore, Denise Pridemore, Don Francisco with her Shadow Spiders. Mm-hmm. So he's going to do the actual Shadow Person book. So that'd be cool.
That is awesome. Yeah, they're a hoot.
Oh yeah.
We had the whole hoot wall going on there between the Tillerys and the Hopkins and myself and Megan. It was fun. And Denise Pridemore was fun. We just had ourselves, and Michelle and Pops. I call her Dad Pops.
Yeah, you may as well. His name's Mike, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I have too many Mikes in my life. I've got you, Mike. I've got my Mike in Ireland. I've got Michelle's dad, Mike. So it's getting confusing. He's Pops to me. He's Pops. So,
yeah. Robert Hanna's asking about, did anybody see a full body apparition? Shana responds with, tune into our Facebook Live at 9:45. Yeah, tune in to Inside the Upside Down at 9:45.
Yeah, I did not see one with my own two eyes. This time I have before. Mm-hmm. Very well there. Okay. I would have rather seen one than what I felt in that room.
Okay.
I would have been much happier seeing the scariest fucking thing I could imagine standing right next to me smoking a cigarette than what I felt in that other room. Not that it's not.
Well, even when I was in there before you, I was in there with the Southern Gypsies. Because they were picking up on some things in the pool. And they were getting a little creeped out down there. I was like, well, if you really want to get creeped out, come with me. Right? So I took them back there. And there's some stuff that they were picking up on that, was associated with the room, which was cool. But behind, like when you first walk into that room, to the right, there's a wall that's there. It's just your basic drywall. And actually, I didn't understand what that was at the time. We figured it out a little bit later. But above that, you could see some shadows moving around up there, which was really interesting. Later found out and discovered that those were actually the bathrooms off the main ballroom, off the grand ballroom, which was kind of funny because I was back there, and that was when I was with you.
You found that out with me.
I found that out with you. That's right, because Michelle was there, and Megan. Yeah, because the light came on. When it was back there with the Gypsies, that light was not on. So that's what was throwing me off when we went back there, because the light was on. But yeah, before with the Gypsies, the light was off. We were seeing all kinds of shadows back there. And see, that area back there, and it ends up making more sense now, that area back there in the bathrooms of the grand ballroom, there's what they call a quote-unquote portal potty. But there is some activity that goes on there in a portal that people feel when they're in there. And then within that little waiting area where there's actually a church pew sitting, which is weird for a bathroom area. There's been a little boy experience back there. In fact, one of our Mineral Springs videos has a lot of interaction that we were getting with that boy. So it makes a lot more sense now that, on the other side of this wall is the area in which a lot of people experience William. And in his room back there, which is generally a darker room. So
yeah,
makes a lot more sense
I don't know
now.
if that's who this was or not. I really don't.
It may not have been. There's
I
so
don't
much
know.
going on at that hotel.
Yeah, there is a lot, and it was, like I said, that was a first for me, and I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit, and I've had crazy things happen, and that was a first. Because I actually was fighting for control, and I was aware of it. That's what's weird to me.
Eric Klein is in the house. Hey, Eric. He says, I had experienced an energy type that seemed smaller and looking down from the rafters near Molly's room, and someone else reported something that was small, bird-like, flying, but not actually a bird. That's kind of interesting.
That is interesting. Up by Eric. Okay, so I know Eric is there, and he's listening. Up in that area, the last time we were there, and I talked to you and Dave about this, and somewhere on my Facebook, I have a picture. I was taking pictures down the hallway, not in the hallway of Molly's room, but the other one kind of around Pearl's area. And I was taking pictures, and I caught one of the doorways slightly open where it's there's 2x4s and stuff. And there was something that the only way I can describe it is it looked like a little creature, like an elf type creature, which is not accurate, but I don't know how else to describe it, sitting on their haunches in between 2x4s.
Interesting.
In the wall casing.
Okay.
And
wow.
I tried to recreate that. I did everything I could. I could not recreate that. But I know it's somewhere in my Facebook.
Okay, we'll have to hunt that down.
Yeah.
It's
creepy.
Okay, we'll have to hunt that down. Donna Gorton says that she saw two guys and animals in the slaughterhouse and was bad at. Interesting. I mean, that makes sense. I guess it was that sub basement was a slaughterhouse, ice house, bottling plant. It was a lot of different things. But the fact that they did slaughter animals down there, sheep, I don't know if they did sheep down there, but you never know.
Me and Shauna and Megan and Michelle found another little room off the pool area where we kind of had to go back through these little hallways.
Okay.
This may mean nothing. I should have asked Dave and Donna about it, but God, it sounds so gross. All I could smell was what smelled like beer and fish. And the closest we could come to figuring out what it was like beer battered fish burps.
Okay. Well.
And I don't know what that means. I have no idea. But it was when you come out of the pool area, you can go through that doorway, and then to the left, you can go through another doorway, and it kind of takes you into these weird rooms that almost feel like they're under the street. Yeah,
there's a couple other little rooms back there. Yep.
That's where it was.
Okay.
And then the one, oh, shit. Okay.
What?
So we're walking more, and I think you caught up with us like right after this, but we're walking down these other hallways on a separate area, and I started laughing. And Shauna goes, she asked me, she says, well, what is it? I said, they're asking where the bathroom is. And they were asking in my head. We walk 5 feet further, the bathroom's on the left.
Oh, wow.
And this is in an area I've never been in.
Yeah.
And she's like, there it is. And I'm like, all right, there it is. There you go.
Nice. Nice.
But I had never been in this area before. I went into a lot of places there I'd never been before.
Yeah, you start exploring around down there, and you will keep discovering all kinds of little rooms, little alcoves, little passageways. I mean, there's so much to that place that, we haven't seen it all. Even Shana and I, who have been there like a million times, we've seen a lot, but there's still some unexplored places that we haven't gotten into yet. You take like that upstairs area by the owner's suite. There's all those different rooms up there that are blocked off. Who knows where all those go? True story.
Gotta love me some Tim Shoon, because this is freaking hilarious. He said, we have to make beer battered fish burps go viral.
There you go.
So we need a t-shirt, hashtag beer battered fish burps. HRM.
So Shauna says at Vanessa, remember the person asking where the bathroom was?
Yeah, that's what I was just telling. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That was so freaking funny because I didn't know. And I mean, it was like, where's the bathroom?
Right.
It's exactly how it sounded. Like, I've got to get to the bathroom now.
Right.
And that just smelling beer battered fish burps and somebody asking where the bathroom is, I'm not feeling real confident about what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No, it sounds really unpleasant.
Yeah.
But luckily there was a bathroom right there.
Yep. So we got about 10 minutes left in the show. Something that I did want to mention before we wrap it up is, we're there at Mineral Springs, and we're of course representing that fantastic historic building. Dave and Donna, It's Raining Zen, have done a lot to help promote that building. But we also had other haunted locations that were represented there. The one local location, the McPike Mansion, was absolutely fantastic. The Sharon Ludke could be there, and she was selling those little pendants and the earrings and everything. They had the original glass from McPike Mansion embedded there. The broken pieces of glass that she would shape into jewelry and then wrap them and all that stuff, which was really cool. So people were taking in the history of McPike there. We already mentioned the goldenrod. But then Robin Terry from Ashmore Estates was there. So Ashmore Estates and Rhodes Hotel was represented because of through Robin Terry, and then Dan Class from Hinsdale House was there. So you had all these other haunted locations that were represented there within the ParaCon within Mineral Springs, which I thought was really awesome.
That is awesome. Speaking of, I am going to try to do the McPike camp out.
Cool.
So are you and Shana going to do it?
Oh, we're gonna try to go further than that. We want to thoroughly investigate that place, which very limited to be able to do. You actually have to work something out with the city to be able to do that because there are still parts of the building that are condemned. So we're working on that.
Keep me posted.
All right.
I will make that trip, by the way.
Okay.
I can steal a cushion on your couch. I don't got to get a hotel room. Yeah, keep me posted.
All right. Have to hold you to that.
Thank you. I expect you to. Okay, but try to keep it to the fall, okay? Because the heat and this does not go.
Right.
Okay. Still working on the knot, folks. Still working on the knot.
Yeah, which, it wasn't as hot there this year as it was last year.
No, but I forgot a brush. So
yeah, last year we were roasting. I remember like the first group that went upstairs to the top floor last year, they were absolutely roasting. We ended up there a little bit later. It was still really damn hot. But yeah, it was really toasty last year, and this year it was quite a bit cooler, which was nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it was. I just didn't prepare in a way that I probably should have. But no, it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad. And remember, it was later in the summer. It was
only a week difference.
Was it a week?
It was only a week. Yep.
Huh, I thought it was like 2.
No, last year it was June 8th. This year is June 1st.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, we tried to get the exact same weekend, but a wedding was already booked for that weekend.
Oh.
So,
Gotcha.
also another thing that I thought was very cool was that we had a lot of different states represented as well. So, like Lee came all the way up from Florida. Vanessa Salazar was in from Ohio. We mentioned Dan Class coming in from New York. Michelle Hamilton was coming in from Virginia. The Southern Gypsies were coming in from West Virginia. Adam Tillery came in from Kansas. Katie Hopkins, Chuck Banks coming in from Iowa. So you had all these different states that were represented there. So many different people from all over came out for this event. And I was really happy about that too.
Absolutely. We had fun.
Oh, yeah.
We had a good time. Who was that saying that? Beat 3 Aerospace is saying, do a slick hairstyle in a bun. You don't want this mug with the hair away from it. Okay? Melon head. You don't want that. Okay? The hair helps justify this. So, yeah. Bless you.
Yep. Pat Kraft is down there. It was a great time. Liked being able to spend time with some old friends and new. Yeah, so Pat Kraft and Kelly McCarville were also there from Iowa, of course. Can't forget them. Yeah, so did you ever get to check out Baphomet, the vendor?
No.
Oh, you needed to, because they do all the Shana stocked up over there. They do all the gothic themed bath accessories. It's really,
I'll have to
really
look
cool
them
stuff.
up online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, for the most part, planted at my table unless I ran outside for a few minutes.
Okay, yeah, you were pretty busy over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really cool.
Awesome. I'll look them up online.
Yeah, do that. Check out their Instagram, and I guess they post the same stuff on their Facebook page. But yeah, I mean, some really, really cool stuff. So so we had interesting vendors like that there too. So I'm really encouraged for next year. Hopefully, it won't be flooding next year.
I know, right?
Yeah. Which actually, I mean, that was kind of interesting because I think in addition to all the ParaCon videos and photos people were posting, you got to see all these flood photos too. Just nuts.
I know, it was crazy, and the most beautiful lightning storm.
Yeah, that was great. So yeah, during the investigation, that lightning storm that kicked up was awesome.
And there wasn't a drop of rain. It was just lightning.
No.
And Megan got like the best video of it, which she never gets on social media. It's why y'all have never seen her before. But yeah, she what do you call it? She took excellent video of it, and I'm gonna have her send it to me so I can post it. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, Nick Moulet took some video where on the Missouri side, he actually caught the beginning stages of a little funnel cloud.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I guess it didn't ever form up, but
Thank goodness.
yeah, no kidding. But yeah, over there in the Missouri side, he caught that beginning of a funnel cloud. It was like, oh, that's not good.
No. Oh, goodness gracious, no. But yeah, it'll be even bigger and even better next year, and I'm gonna go ahead and start planning now.
Plan now. I mean, it's gonna be about the same weekend. I'll sit down with Donna. She's the one that puts the schedule together over there, and and find a good weekend. So I'm kind of torn. Do we stay with that first weekend in June, or do we do the second like we did last year?
If we can, I say do the second.
Do the second?
Yeah, because just that week alone, getting out of the spring rain might help. There's more rain in May than there is in June.
Yeah, there is. But I'll say this: it's next weekend, or I guess this coming weekend is going to be worse as far as water than this past weekend. I mean,
really?
There's the water continues to rise. I don't know if you saw what Shana and I posted on Sunday, but basically we were like one of the last, if not the last, to take the ferry across from Campsville. We just got out of there before they shut it all down. I mean, just in the couple hours that we were over there, it had, we're driving up to the ferry to get on, and it's like, there's the water coming up next to the road, right? Just in the time that we were up at her parents' house, the water was now over the road, and as we're on the ferry going back, the guys, calling down to Shana, hey, we're going to be shutting down here if you're trying to get back. I think he said they had like 15 minutes or whatever, and so they shut down the ferry just after we got off of it. One of the levees over there broke yesterday, the Netwood levee. So it's continuing to rise, and we're getting rain basically from tonight through the rest of the week.
Oh, fuck.
So.
Okay, yeah, stick with the first weekend then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was good. Everybody seemed to love it. So, yeah, stick with the first weekend. Let me know when you know it for certain, because I'm going to go ahead and reserve my room.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure all that out.
Yeah.
So, and Diane Hilbert says, our fairy queen, says, no matter what weekend you do, Vanessa will not come to ParaCon here in July. She's out there in Rhode Island.
I would love to. I would love to. The only reason, Diane, I'm not coming this year is because I'm going to be in Ireland.
Yeah, you're doing the Ireland thing.
Only reason. Otherwise, I absolutely would come. I didn't think I could come last year, but if I know about it and I can plan for it, I will be there. So, Mike, are you going to be there next year?
We'll see. I'm there this year.
If you're
basically because the Johnson brothers kept coaxing me. I mean, Andrea Perrin is always like, you need to come out. But yeah, the Johnson brothers kind of tag teamed me here a couple months ago, and so I was like, okay, fine. Because it's a lot longer trip for me now than it had been last year.
Well, I'm getting ready to throw you a bone. Okay, I'm getting ready to throw you a little morsel here. If you're gonna do it, if you know for a fact you're gonna do it, and it's I think the 14th, 15th ish.
Yeah, this year it's the 13th and 14th. It's always that middle weekend of July.
That middle weekend. Mm-hmm. I can't be going overseas next summer too. So, I mean, unless I just all of a sudden win the lottery. I will drive up to you, and then you and I could drive together, and that way you've got two drivers.
Well, we could figure out something like that. So for those of you that don't know, we're talking about the Ocean State ParaCon in Rhode Island. That's every middle of July. So I'll be doing that this year, and we have, as a prelude to that, we have Andrea Perrin coming on, I think it's July 9th. I think it's the Tuesday right before it.
Okay.
So that'd be cool. And then Adam Tillery we talked about this on the live on Friday night. So Adam Tillery says, Belvoir reunion tour, let's make that magic happen. So that was something that popped into my head not too long ago here, and I threw it out there at Adam and Lee on Friday night when we were investigating. It's in the investigation video here on Haunted Road Media, that it was 8 years ago now at Belvoir Winery. Was that March 2011 that I met Adam and Lee, and really what we have now together as Haunted Road Media, kind of took those infancy steps. It wasn't Haunted Road Media back then, didn't become Haunted Road Media till years later when I put that together. Was it 2015, 2014? 2014. Yeah, 2014. But that was kind of the beginning, and I guess Adam met Katie the following year at Belvoir, and so kind of Belvoir is kind of the beginnings of. Vanessa, I met you long before that, I know, but we met. I think the first time you and I actually met was that place on campus there. That investigation, but still with those kind of connections there at Belvoir, where we all met, I started thinking maybe Jesse Limecooler there has been trying to get me to do an event there for a couple of years now. Actually, probably ever since I first met him back then too. And so let's do it. Yeah, so it's like we could just do like a little small, Haunted Road Media Origins or reunion sort of event there.
I'm in fucking Oklahoma. I can get there like that.
Yeah, that's not too. That's a lot quicker for you to get to.
Yes.
So yeah, and Shauna's always wanted to go to Belvoir. It's not too far from us. I mean, that's probably like halfway between you and me.
Perfect.
Belvoir. So we're talking. Yeah, do that in 2020. Just
sounds good.
Or not 2020. 2021. 10-year
sounds good.
Thing. Just connect and hook up with Jesse and do that. So
perfect.
All right.
I'm all about it.
All right. Well, we are just past our hour mark, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So let's go ahead and do some shout outs here. Thank you, Shana, for shenanigating the chat. Absolutely appreciate that. We got Donna Gordon, our Cheshire Cat down there. And Adam Siller is already hashtagging Belvoir 2021. Nice. So let's see. We had Diane Hilbert, our fairy queen, down there. Let's get to this participants thing and see if it mentions everyone. Okay, so there's Adam Tillery. Awesome. Andrew and his trucking gnomes. Thank you, Andrew Cox. We got B3 Airspace. This is one of our Deep Down the Rabbit Hole Patreon patrons, which include Tom McNicholas, B3 Airspace, Zippy Davis, BD Flint, Pamela Queen, Andrew Cox, Dustin Samario, Trucker David White. Did I forget anybody? I hope I got everybody.
I can't remember shit right now.
Yeah, I got to write it down. In any case. So thank you guys. Let's see. There's Don Godsey. Thank you very much, Don. Appreciate you being with us tonight. Eric Klein is in the house. Thank you, Eric, for joining us tonight. Dustin Samario, thank you as always. Kelly McCarvo, thanks for joining us tonight, as well as Pat Kraft, Mama Pat. There's Robert Hanna. Thank you very much, Robert. Sherry Wankel. Hey, Sherry, that's Shauna's sister. There's Tammy Heitzman. Thank you as always, Tammy. And there's also Tim Schoen. Thank you very much, Tim. Let's see who the participants tab forgot, and that would be Katie Palmer. Katie Palmer's in the house. Thank you. JD Bambara. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate that. See, there is also Creatrix Corvus Arts. Mickey Dole is in the house. Thank you, Mickey. Let's see. I didn't do our Super Chat Superstars. What am I thinking? Super Chat Superstars for this evening. We have BD Flint, Tom McNicholas, Trucker David Y, and Andrew and his Trucking Gnomes. Thank you all very, very much for being Super Chat Superstars tonight. All right, so I think that's probably going to be about. There's Bree Jones. That's right, Bree. Candy Orton. And see anybody else. All right, I think that is going to about do it. So shoot over to facebook.com/Haunted Road Media. We're going to pick up Inside the Upside Down there. And Shana and I are going to talk about our experiences investigating the Haunted Mineral Springs Hotel. Vanessa, if you don't watch, I'm going to have to tell you about it later. So
I have a reading to do at 10, so I'll be on there for a few minutes.
Okay. Very cool. So we'll see everybody over there, and just give us a few minutes here to switch everything out, get the blue light set up, little tea, stuff like that. All right. So that'll do it. Till next time, Vanessa.